So let's get started. How's everybody doing? You can chat. I have muted everybody. Otherwise, it's kind of distracting when somebody joins. The noise joins along with them. So I have an exciting presentation. My husband was like, you have like 10,000 slides. I mean, you have 100 slides. I mean, what's wrong with you? Why can't you keep it concise? I'm like, I have so much information to share. People join me so that they can learn. So I'm not going to like be stingy or cut down any information. So it's a lot of information that's going to be crammed in this hour, but please do not panic or anything. You will get a replay of the webinar. Of course, it's getting recorded. Let me just rename. Yes, a few things and just we'll get started. Hold on a minute. So whatever questions you have, please type them away. I have wonderful Prisha here. She will make sure it gets to me. Okay. Okay. So fantastic. So who's excited? Let's get started. Let's get started. Any questions, type them away. So let's get started. This is the college planning webinar. Let me start sharing my screen. Okay, so let's get started. Prisha, can you see my screen, honey? Which screen are you seeing? Are you on mute? I did unmute you, right?
Yes, sorry, I'm able to unmute now. Before it was showing me a notification.
Okay, so is it the right screen that you see?
Yes, we see you to 2023 college plan.
Okay, so let's get started. We are in the college planning webinar. Any questions, please type them away. I will get to them at the end of the webinar. So let's get started. Here is the agenda. This webinar is about how to create a unique profile for college. You're going to learn about, firstly, the college admission process. It's a little different. It's a little complicated. Then you're going to learn about scholarships. Then you're going to learn about students with disabilities as well, which is like IEP and everything. How do you stay ahead of the competition? I'm going to show you a few strategies. Then I'm going to launch my 2023 spring programs. I have like wonderful set of programs and freebies and special offers. We have like special freebies for attendees only. I like to reward people who take the time to show up. I mean, kudos to you guys for taking this Saturday to come here. I mean, you are winners in my books. I mean, the fact that you're here and you're taking the time to come and learn something, that's really something. So you will be rewarded with this wonderful resource of summer internships. Of course, it will be announced towards the end. And there are some special freebies as well that I'm sharing, okay? And I just kindly request that if you have a question and you feel like it's not going to be welcome or you don't want to share that, please change your name and share it. And please do not message me privately because I'm not going to be able to get to your messages. Whereas Prisha here, my wonderful, wonderful intern, she'll make sure the questions get to me, okay? So let's get started. A bit about me. I live in Pennsylvania, Chester Springs. My older son is about to graduate from Georgia Tech. My younger son is in 10th grade. He goes to the Downingtown East school district. My husband is an IT professional. He graduated from Harvard. And I just came back from India. I graduated from REC, or it's the name has changed, NITC Calicut. It was supposed to be our 25th reunion, which happened 26 years later, of course. I don't know why this keeps changing. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to stop sharing. I apologize. I'm just going to start sharing again. Okay, so there we are. And my ventures, I have a couple of other businesses, but the most thing I'm very passionate about is my nonprofit Inspire Youth. Basically, we run a lot of programs for youth, especially my older students. They conduct free courses. We've had so many hackathons, yoga, chess, whatever it is, it's free of cost. And I have the PVSA certification, which is the Presidential Award certification from my organization. If anybody wants to volunteer, I mean, you have the platform. I also ran a sustainability. I'm very, very passionate about sustainability. So a sustainability effort as well. I'm going to make that again, where for 1 month students do something that's sustainable. They track everything. They get hours for doing it. How amazing is that? So there are a lot of ideas crammed into one head. And also, yeah, so that is where we are. My certifications, I'm a Tony Robbins certified life coach. I'm a positive psychology coach. I started off by coaching ADHD and a little bit on the autism spectrum, but not autistic kids. I'm not trained for that. And the reason being, I myself suffer a bit from ADHD and anxiety, extremely anxious. And I'm also very, very hyperactivity. I was never diagnosed with ADHD when I was young. So my mom had to keep me occupied. She put me in all kinds of classes during the summer. Otherwise, I would be jumping off the wall. So that is why if you see, I'm just creating programs after programs, because I mean, that's what I like to do. ADHD coach, so it helps me understand students better. I'm an executive functioning skills coach. It's not the corporate world executives executive functioning skills are the prefrontal cortex of the brain, which is where all the functions are, like planning, time management, focus, metacognition, all the 12 wonderful executive functioning skills that are there. I'm trained under Peg Dawson. She's a leading psychologist and an executive functioning coach. So if you see, my programs will always have executive functioning skills enhancement for that. That is the cornerstone for success, actually, is how well you plan, prioritize, organize, focus, be driven. All that is from the prefrontal cortex of the brain, and it's still developing in teens. And the thing is, that's what is most expected out of them in something that's still developing, right? And there's not enough scaffolding that's provided to them in school. Got it? Only if you're in the IEP or the 504, you get that kind of support. But without mastering your executive functioning skills, you're not going to perform at your 100%. I'm also a meditation instructor. I learned pranic healing recently. I even offered that to parents. It's helped me greatly in sort of calming myself down. I'm like so hyper. I just get off the bed and I'm doing 10 different things. You can imagine my family, right? So that's there. And then I did my college counseling from UC Berkeley. I use a lot of my UC Berkeley material, especially the college counseling course that I'm starting. I used one of those material there, and it's fantastic. Okay, and now students who go to the UC Berkeley counseling course, they sort of shadow me to complete their practicum to understand how the counseling works. Okay, so that's about me. So let's get to the first item, which is the college admission process in the US. If you are confused, it is designed to be confused. So I want to know what your thoughts are about the college admissions process. I mean, whatever are your thoughts? You can just go anonymous and type it in. Is it confusing? Is it very clear? Is it convoluted, which it is? Is it straightforward? Whatever your thoughts are, take a moment to type them in, and we will see what we have to say. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So I hear a lot. It's confusing. It's most certainly is confusing. We know that. And yep. So that's what it is. Overwhelming, complicated, stressful. Yeah, it's designed to be like that, right? It is designed. Okay. I myself get confused, even though it is, there are certain items that I do get confused. I'm in this business and this is my full-time job, right? It is all designed like that because college is a business, Got it? And the person who can afford the most wins. Got it? And it's based on supply and demand. That's bottom line. It's a corporate world. Every college here in the States run like a corporation, and their whole main goal is to make sure that you pay the most for that. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly go over the cost of attending college. College costs are not just tuition. There is all kinds of additional tuition, fee, board and room, like transportation, everything that sort of, and then the rate of increase and everything that is there. So my son goes to Georgia Tech, although it's out of state fee, it's still much, much, much lesser than the other colleges that you go to. But of course, you need to add the flight charges, and the room and board is what is the most expensive thing. He did get quite a bit of scholarships, and he's graduating within 2.5 years. So that's also like adds on to it, having enough APs and courses to sort of transfer over, which I will go over. Okay, this is the cost of Ivy. As you can see here, on an average, you are expected to spend 85 grand a year, 85,000 a year. I know it's like staggering. It's like 350 to 400K on a child's education. And of course, they rarely give you any scholarship. So that's the cost of college. Quite staggering, right? So, and also the cost of college has significantly increased. It's like a hockey stick. It's just going up and up and up. You're going to see it go up as well. And there have been many articles as to how much fat they need to shed because of the amount of, they're completely overstaffed. And I mean, there's a lot of things that go on to that. So that is the cost of college, right? And how is it that you win most scholarships? My students have the track record of getting a lot of scholarships. So there are tons and tons of merit scholarship, even though you don't qualify for financial need. There is need-based and merit-based. Okay, why am I jumping? I'll get to that in the scholarships section. But that is the cost of the college, attending college. Got it? Now I'm going to explain the process a little bit, which is way different and not straightforward at all. If you're like me, who's come from India, of course, I went to REC Calicut. My brother went to the library and got an application form. We filled it in. I had my test scores and I got it, right? But here it's not that straightforward. There are many, many parameters in it. And one thing is for sure, great grades and test scores are not enough. Got it? You might be an exceptionally academically forward student, but that's not enough if you don't have the proper extracurricular activities or the leadership qualities. Okay, so here are a few essential questions that the colleges ask. Just like a parent, like you know when you go grocery shopping to pick the best fruit. Got it? It's the apple or orange. You're always going to look at it and pick so that, oh, my family needs to eat this fruit and feel good. So colleges know how to pick students. You got it? And I can clearly see that in the profile of my students who've gotten accepted, because I know their profile and I've helped them build that story. Okay, so these are the essential questions that colleges ask. How are your grades? Are you academically capable of learning in my college? Okay, you're coming here. Are you academically capable of learning here? What unique qualities do you bring to enhance the student body? What is that unique thing about you? I mean, why should we take you, right? And what impact have you done so far? Because the impact that you've done in the 4 years is proportional to what you will be doing in the future, right? So that is what you're going to show them. And what is your potential? These are the questions you got to answer. Got it? So any questions about the essential questions, please type them away. Now for the other factors in the admission process, and I'm going to show you how the admission process works. Okay, so I'm just going to take an example of Duke. For instance, your child is applying to Duke. Got it? So what happens is you live in Ohio For example, there is a regional admission officer from Duke in Ohio who is going to collect applications all from Ohio. It's set it up in such a way that the Common App will send it to the admissions officer if it's Ohio. So the admission officer receives the application. For example, there is the student X. He's impressed. Oh my God, this student is super. I mean, I want the student in Duke. He's amazing. He's got wonderful extracurricular activities. He's got this, he's got that. I want him, but he's not in charge of he's not the only one deciding. He just picked the best candidate. Now he has to go and pitch it to the admissions committee. Okay, there's an admissions committee sitting in Duke. Okay, they are like, it's like a stodgy office room with all higher ups sitting there and discussing. So he goes and he says, you know what? We've been trying to recruit students from Ohio. There's not been that many students, but I got the student X. He's amazing. He's got leadership. He's got so much potential. If he gets into Duke, he's going to do majorly good and we're going to get alumni money from him. Pitches, okay? Like that, from Pennsylvania, from Wisconsin, from California, from all over the states, they come and pitch. And the admissions committee will vote. Okay, so there will be a lot of filtering that happens by the time it reaches the committee. And I'm going to show you those filtering parameters in the next slide. Got it? Then the admissions committee will vote and it say, accepted. Yeah, we love you. Thank you. Please come immediately, pay your 85 grand and join us. Or I don't think you're Duke material. You're there. You're about 75% there, but I want to see the other candidate. So I'm going to put you in the wait list file. Boom. I'll put you in the wait list file. Then in the regular admissions, I'm going to come and check you out again. It's like when you go shopping, you pick out a lot of clothes, right? And then you sort of set them out. Oh yeah, I want this. Absolutely want it. I'm going to think about it if my mood changes or whatever, something like that. So this is how an admissions works. Any questions about this process, please type them away. I will get to them. Got it? So we'd love to hear questions. Please ask them away. This is your opportunity. I'm going to answer any question. There's nothing like a dumb question at all. Okay. So I'm just going to read out an acceptance letter to Duke and you will know what they're looking for. This is a handwritten application. Sorry, acceptance note. They do send handwritten acceptance notes. I'll show you another one as well. Remind me if I miss out. It says, I enjoyed reviewing your application and the admissions committee was impressed with your innovative projects and research promise. So this candidate had research. He had highlighted research. He had done a lot of projects in the 4 years. Okay. At Duke, you can continue innovating in makerspace like Foundry and through other programs. I hope you will join the members of the Forever Duke. Got it? So this is how it works. This is how the admissions process work. Okay. So now I told you at a very, very high level, what are they looking for and all that stuff. It's kind of sort of very vague, right? How does that boil down to boil down to like grades and extracurricular activities? How, right? This is the slide that's most important. So this has been compiled by NACAC. They're the National Association for Counselors. Like people like me are members of that counseling association. I'm part of many counseling associations and it costs me thousands of dollars, but then I get the latest information. There's nothing Googling here. It's like cold, hard facts from the counselors and what has happened in colleges. Okay, so these are the 12 factors and it's been prioritized by NACAC. Number one is grades. Whoever tells you grades not important, don't listen to them. Number one is grades in all courses. Then is your test scores. Please don't fall trap into test optional, test blind. Test optional means if you submit your score, they will look at it. So you have to submit it if you want to look good, especially for BSMD programs, they do need it. And good test scores are very, very important. And especially people from California, they feel like it's not because they only focus on UCs. And when they come to me, they're so late in there. So I've seen that general trend. Okay. Then strength of the curriculum, like how far you've pushed yourself, honors, APs, and all those kind of things. I'm not saying that APs are the only way to go, but strength of the curriculum is one of the factors. Then there's essays. Then there's counselor recommendation, which is most important in the 12th grade. Students demonstrated interest is how much you've gone to their website and all that blah stuff. Teacher recommendations, super important. Class rank if it's offered. Colleges like Hofstra, which has a wonderful BSMD program, they will clearly say, if you're not between the 1 to 5% of the class rank, please don't even apply here, right? That's the kind of exclusivity that they're looking for. Extracurricular activities are important, then test scores are important, interview and graduation, other exam scores. So these are the 12 factors that are there. And any questions, you can type them away. And I've broken it down by grades. I'm sorry, by the year or the grades. Grades are important in all 4 years. Then there is, of course, the test scores, strength of curriculum. All these are very, very important. If you see here, grades, extracurricular activities are very, very important. Essays and all that we focus in the summer of the senior year when you're applying to colleges. So I'm going to go over the grades and the course progression. Of course, a lot of schools have this rule where they only allow APs in the junior year and everything, but it's okay. It will be reflected in your school report as to what your colleges need. So it's always good to start off with honors course and take the more challenging courses. Then the next is the testing formula. The second thing that's the priority. You have the PSAT, which is for the national merit. It's not pre-SAT. The name is very confusing. It's for the national merit. Some colleges, they offer you full ride. UT Dallas offers you full ride or half off. USC offers half off. And then you have the SAT or the ACT that you can take. Okay, so this is the testing thing. And these are the scores that are needed by the top colleges. The national merit score. The SATs, you need to have about 1550. ACT is about 34 or 35. Like, for example, Duke, they say 35 is the score that they need. Got it? So any questions, please type them away. I will address them. If I'm going too fast, don't worry. I have this recording. Everything is being recorded and I will share them with you. My webinars are dense with information. You're going to get a lot of information. It's not just 5 slides and you go away marketing. No, there's no BS. It's like true hard facts. If it's complicated, I like to demystify it. So another thing is, if your school offers that many AP courses, it's good to have that reflected on your transcript. Got it? So that's another thing that's extremely important is them being seen in your transcript, because your counselor recommendation, everything is dependent on that. Okay, so next I'm going to come to extracurricular activities. What is it that colleges are looking for? 3 things. Number 1 is impact. Every activity that you are doing has to be impactful, right? It needs to align with your passion, and it's got to be unique. And I'll tell you the story about my wonderful, wonderful student. I can't take her name because I don't have her permission. She is awesome. She was very focused on mental health and neuroscience, and she had her own initiative, which was called Neuro Elevation. Got it? That was her passion. And she got tons of scholarship in, I forget the name of the college, 80 grand. And they wrote it specifically. I'm going to show you her acceptance letter with scholarship that said that she got selected because of her effort and passion in mental health. Got it? So you can either be a generalist, do everything and not have an impact, or be a specialist. You are super focused on one thing and there are other activities as well. So that is what demarcates a good candidate from an average, right? You have like tons of parents who feel like, oh, I have to enroll them here, enroll them there. I have to do everything. I have to do everything. But then have you like stepped back and seen whether it really aligns with them? Can they go deeper and create an impact? That is where success happens. Got it? So that's about extracurriculars. If you have any questions about extracurriculars, please make sure you type them away. Okay. Next is essays. Of course, it's got to be standout, emotional, interesting, unique, specific, and quick. My son's essay was none of this. I was not a college counselor at that time, and I didn't have the best resources as I had now. His essay was not emotional, and he wouldn't get to the point till the third paragraph. Got it? So, I mean, it's hard to expect a 17-year-old to write something that's so profoundly deep that moves admission officers, but I have figured out a strategy to help them write that kind of an essay. Got it? So that's part of my junior counseling. The college applications, you don't need to worry about college essays in your 9th and 10th grade. Got it? Other considerations for college applications are leadership and community impact. That's absolutely. Like, for example, the girl who got tons of scholarships, she showed that neuro elevation. I mean, she was a leader. I mean, she was running this whole company. Got it? And then the impact that she had on other students, like the community, the volunteering is very, 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 very important. You get it? And also, don't do it for the sake of doing it. It needs to be aligned with your child, right? All the time we see parents like Googling everything, wanting to learn like 10,000 different things, pushing their children into doing everything that they think is important. No. It's like it needs to align with their interest, right? You constantly keep driving your child to do 10 different things. They're not going to be interested or become a specialist in one. Got it? And then recommendations, very, very important, the counselor and teacher recommendations. So everything, your grades, your strength of the curriculum, your extracurricular activities, everything comes in your school report or recommendation that the counselor sends. Then there's teacher recommendation, which is more based on the students' performance in class, like how well they show an urge to learn, help others, like collaborate, and everything. Okay. And I can't emphasize enough the impact of passion projects on a college admission, right? Like my students who've had like shown one special project have really got into like exceptional schools, like neuro elevation by my student. Then another student, he sort of runs hackathons and teaching kids. That's his kind of passion. Another student wrote a wonderful research paper, right? And he even published a book. So those are some of the passion projects that schools love to see. And of course, publishing a peer-reviewed journal. My student just got into Stanford. The student was in my research program. I just heard that. The student did a project, on AI and wrote a research paper on AI and got into Stanford. I mean, that's not one of the reasons. The student was an exceptional student, but was part of our research program. Of course, internships, because it shows like real life experience. Being in-person internship is very, very good. And even working in a Target or Macy's, my students have gotten tons of scholarships. Working in like grocery stores, even it's a very, very good extracurricular activity because it shows colleges that you stepped out of your comfort zone to go and learn and explore something. So please don't think that you need to get into a coveted internship in IBM or Microsoft or Google to land in an Ivy League. No, it can even be Target and Macy's. My student even picked dog poop for elders, for senior citizens, and she got tons of scholarships. So that's the way it is. Next, I'm going to talk about scholarships, like how do you get merit scholarships? This is not need-based because most of us don't qualify for need-based because our income is slightly above. We are well-educated people. There are some people who can't afford for need-based. At that time, there are need-based. There are like very different types of scholarships. There are scholarships for international students. There are scholarships, there are full ride scholarships. Okay, UT Dallas and everywhere there are full ride scholarships. Then scholarships based on SAT, ACT, academics. My lovely University of Alabama gives a lot of scores. Sorry, gives a lot of like 28 or 20K scholarship a year if your test scores are much better. Of course, there's need based. Then there's community service scholarships. There are some scholarships that offer you scholarships based on your community service. Community service volunteering is the #1 thing that needs to be on your resume to win any kind of scholarship. Got it? And of course, there are athletic scholarships. There are scholarships for all kinds of students. I have students who are on H1, green card, US citizen. I have students from India, everywhere. We've all gotten very good scholarships in US colleges. Okay. And these are some private scholarships: Google, Dell, James Beard, there's Coca-Cola scholarship. These are all private scholarships. They're not offered by colleges. Okay. And this is something that I'm very passionate about, is students with learning disabilities. You see, I'm an ADHD coach. I've had students on IEP, got into very good schools, 504, ADHD. I had my student in my research program who had ADHD, who wanted to find out why is it that he had to take meds to function normally. Got it? He got into a very good school. I have students. I had another student who wrote a research on, I'm going to show you my research program. She's a wonderful kid. She wrote an essay on how essential oils can help autistic kids, because her brother was autistic. See, my students have very personal stories. So she wrote the story about, the whole research on, are there any specific essential oils that can calm, she had to learn about the neurons and everything. And I just got back a note saying she got like tons of scholarships from Temple and other places. She's a biomed student. Okay, so that is what you have. So now let me ask you, how do you stay ahead of the competition? Okay, so let's see, what do you think? Let's please type away. I'm just going to take a break so that I can drink water. What do you think is how you can stay ahead of the competition?
Excuse me, Coach. I just wanted to let you know that we just about hit the 30-minute mark.
Thank you, my awesome. And there are a lot of questions about internships. I just want to introduce Prisha, who is my admin. She's in 10th grade. She's been my intern from grade 9. She's been my social media intern. I offer a lot of internships in summer, along with the list that I'm going to show you. I work with businesses to offer internships, and Prisha here is my amazing associate and my intern. She's in grade 10 and she's always there. She's earning money. She's going to be paid for this webinar. She's there, and that is how you go out there and show yourself. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So let's get ahead. This is some of our success story. Cornell acceptance, a wonderful student. She got into the Cornell engineering. She had a lot of students. I'm sorry, a lot of extracurricular activities. She wanted to do agriculture. So she had she was a specialist. Like I said, specialist instead of being a generalist. She had very many passion projects that related to that. Then this is NYU. My student got tons of scholarship from NYU as well. Then Case Western, my students have gotten. And Allegheny, look at the amount of scholarship. It's like 148K for 4 years. College of Worcester, another 140K. Rensselaer Polytechnic. This student was my research student as well as my counseling student. She got 45K off a year. And if you see here, she was going to pay only 35K a year for Rensselaer Polytechnic for biomed. So these are our results. Our success story. My students get accepted into 90% of the colleges that they apply. None of the results are guaranteed. I'm just telling you the results, but I cannot guarantee acceptance or admission into any colleges. Okay, and over 40 or 50 Students have gotten multiple scholarships from colleges, and over 150 colleges my students have gotten accepted into, and they've won over 3 million in scholarships in total because of the profile and the kind of work that I put in, and they put in under my guidance. Ultimately, it is the students, okay? It doesn't matter how much you research or you learn. My husband asked me, oh my God, you're sharing your whole counseling information all over the place in your webinars, in your YouTube, in your Instagram and everything. Guess what? It doesn't matter if you have all the information and knowledge. Ultimately, your child needs to apply them. And that is why you need me, to make your child apply all those principles, right? So that is what I have to offer. And here you go. The way to differentiate yourself, a student, is to create a plan that's different from others. You don't want to look like the herd. Okay, I'm going to this counseling. I'm sorry. I'm going to this volunteering. Oh, I signed up for Y2. I signed up for C2. I signed up for this SAT. Oh, because there was a group discount. So 10 of us went there, and they are just going to teach all of them alike. I mean, that may or may not work, but in my world, it's different. Every plan that we create for our students is different. Okay, and I'm going to introduce you to our unique solutions that I have. I have 4 programs that I'm introducing. One is publish publish a scientific journal. This is run by a professor, Dr. Rajgopal Apavu. We've been running this this is our 6th session already. Many of my students have already published their paper under him. So see, a research needs to be done under a PhD expert. He's a vaccine specialist, an eminent researcher. It doesn't matter if your student wants to pursue computer science. They can do an AI-based project. Like, for example, my son, he's a computer science major from Georgia Tech, but he's working in Moderna, and he loves it. And guess what? Amazon and Google and Meta and everybody, they're not hiring. Who's hiring? The biomedical people, and they lack so many computer experts. And my son found a niche there, and he worked under Dr. Rajgopal. So that's one of the programs. Then I have the BSMD medical counseling, which is a unique specialized counseling program that I run. Then I have the college planning. This is for students who are non-medical. So I segregate them. There's medical and non-medical. Non-medical can be STEM, can be business, can be art, can be architecture, can be literature, can be anything like liberal arts. It all falls under that. Then I have the comprehensive college plan application for juniors. Okay, so that's I'm sorry?
I just wanted to remind you to stop recording if you are doing the previous.
Okay, it's a couple of more slides, honey. Yeah, more slides. There will be a slide, and that time you tell me. Got it? Thanks for reminding. So she just reminded me that that I should stop recording, because I have some specials that are just for people present in the webinar. It's not going to be offered for other people. Thank you so much for doing that. Okay, and the college counseling program is for 9th and 10th. This is a unique comprehensive college application that I do for juniors. I start working with them now until they graduate. So these are the 4 programs that I have to offer. The research is a 9-week research paper, research program. The students will be guided into writing a 4,000-word research paper that they will be submitting to journals. Got it? So you can, I'm going to share the link for all the program. They're all on my website, giftedgabbard.com. You'll be able to register there. So this is the 9-week research program that is done under the guidance of Dr. Rajgopal Apavu. A research is a research only if it's done under a professor or an expert. Otherwise, it's a blog. Got it? It's like guided by them. And these are the details of the program. You'll find all the details on my website. You will see the session details and everything there on my page. If you see here, this is the main page. If you click on that, you'll be able to go to my research page, and everything is described there about the session details. Then I have a special coupon as well. about the professor. Then I want to show you the past. You can go over the past research papers that have been published by my research students as well. And you will be able to, yes, 9th graders are allowed as well. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, all high school students are allowed. There's a mandatory reading that is there. You will see what is included in this, the different pricing details, and frequently asked questions. You will be able to see everything on my webpage. Okay, so that is about the research program. Any questions that you have, please type them away. I will get to them. I'm almost done with my presentation. I just want to show you the comparative price. Summer SSI is 6,000. Polygens is 2,500. Please note, these programs are done with a PhD candidate. PhD candidate, and not with an actual professor. So all these programs are done with PhD candidates, and they cost quite a lot, and my program doesn't cost that much at all. It's a steal for the amount of value that you've gotten. And we have seen immense results. Students getting into Rice, Baylor, USC. My student got into USC, who was in my research and my counseling program. And the student who did the AI project got into Stanford. Okay, then I have the BSMD counseling program, which is very, very unique. My student has gotten into Augusta BSMD, the 7-year program, Texas NMed, and also she didn't go to Texas NMed, she went to pre-med. I'm sorry, Harvard pre-med. She was not in my counseling program, she was in my essay program. But my BSMD counseling program students have gotten tons of scholarship from a lot of SLU. You must be seeing me posting on my Facebook group. They've been getting a lot of scholarship from SLU, University of South Alabama, University of Alabama, and all wonderful schools getting into Rice, Baylor, everywhere. Okay, so basically the details are again on the website. If you go here and you click on the guide program, it's all explained here in greater detail as to what the program comprises. Again, it's a 9-week program. I will tell you the reason why it's 9 weeks and everything. So all the session details are explained here. I have a unique formula for picking courses as well. It's called the Golden Rectangle. How to be a competitive candidate for a BSMD. I mean, that is the secret sauce. Got it? You may do any number of research. You can come to different webinars and see it. But if your child doesn't create a plan for themselves, are not committed to it, I don't see how you can really land there, because of the amount of guidance that's needed, the amount of things that are required to get into the program. So that is what you will get in my program. Medical, how to be a competitive candidate. You will see that in my courses, like what are the honors, awards, all kinds of resources you will get them. Extracurricular activities, how to make it a wow factor, the best cover letter and resume. It may sound so silly, but make your high school create a resume. How many of you here have resumes? Students have resumes. That's very, very important. The way I have a formula that's there. Looking for volunteering opportunities that align with their with the medical career. That's very important. Learning how to maximize and study for AP IB curriculum. Got it? Nobody teaches them that. You get that in my program. Then I introduce them to the different options that are available, the DO, BSMD, and everything. Got it? And then as a bonus, you're going to get a one-on-one session with the review of the plan created. So at the end of the 9 weeks, they will have a plan. Got it? So everything is available on the website. We have a wonderful program coordinator, and I'm going to be the teacher. And all the details are available on the website. And the different options, you can either do BSMD counseling, and you can either take on BSMD and research together, and you'll get a lot of discount. So all that information is on my webpage. Please type any questions that you have about the BSMD program. I will answer them in detail for you. Next, I have the spring college counseling program, which is for the non-medical students. Got it? So like STEM, business, or even if you have not decided your major, please come. I don't expect students to have decided what their major is. It's not possible. And you don't even need to declare your major, right? And you will again have a blueprint created at the end of the 9 weeks. Okay, so this is again a college counseling program. This is one of my most sought after programs, and you can go and click here. It's called the Guide Program for College, creating a unique profile. And the most interesting thing that I've included here is anatomy of college application. So this is something that I picked up from UC Berkeley, where I did my counseling. So we will be given, your students will be given a bunch of actual applications, and they will be the admissions officer. Imagine them learning about the insides of what it takes to get into college. Who teaches them that? No one. And how to create a passion project, right? That's something that they don't have guidance. What your child lacks is guidance. That's all. You guys are all special. You're here to learn, but who is there to guide your child, right? You're a parent. You have your own job and everything to do, and you can't just be relying on Google or your friends to give you the information. You've got to be in the thick and thin of it to build something, right? So here I have discovery and assessment. This is like something from my ADHD coaching, where students are like, they will figure out what is their strength and weakness. You got it? Their learning style, how to perform better in the classroom and outside. Nobody teaches them that skill. You will learn that here. Next, they'll learn how to plan the extracurricular activity. This is my specialty. If you thought I was sharing resources on Facebook, it's just 1% of the resources that I share there. The parents and my students in my program get access to the latest and greatest resources that are there. You can ask any of my parents of my students, and you will tell me, oh, Joe gives the best resources. Of course, creation of resume and a cover letter. There is the planning of the volunteering opportunities. That's very, very important. Goal setting for standardized tests. Nobody just teaches them how to make a smart goal. They're like, you just thrust your child into a coaching session and said, go perform, go do SAT. I mean, here we are going to dissect which is better, SAT or ACT. Nobody tells them to take ACT. I prefer ACT over SAT. More predictable, but then it's the child's decision. And I feel like nobody gives them the option or insight into what goes inside ACT. They will get that here. And study skills. This is what I learned from Peg Dawson. I use her materials, and there is this wonderful professor in University of Southern Florida who was given a lot of grant to do a research on how to make students perform better in AP and IB curriculum. I'm using her research, her methodology for my session, which was shared by my mentor. You won't get this anywhere. Got it? Nobody teaches your child study skills, period. Got it? And then there's going to be creation of a passion project and a personal brand. I know, I mean, a personal brand, what is this? It's not a business. No. The clearer your child's messaging is, the better that their vision and their goal is going to be. Let me tell you the secret sauce for college is your child having figured out their strengths and weaknesses. It's not a major. It's not saying I want to do this. It is like, what is it that is my strength? What is my talent? What is my passion? That they figure out and put it into action. Secret sauce. Take it from me. Okay. But that doesn't come out of thin air. They need tons of guidance to do that. And it's not like your children are like lazy or they don't want to do it. It's just that it's so complicated and nobody has taught them. You get it? So the thing is, I pretty much torture. It's not torture. I mean, college application is like a lot of work, and students need to put tons of hours. And I have so many sessions with them. Pretty much before the application deadline, I have like 2 sessions, 3 sessions on the weekends and everything. And my students show up. I was like so surprised. One of my parents called me and I said, I'm so sorry I'm torturing your child. I mean, I'm making them come on weekends and weekdays and everything. I think they want to get their life back. She's like, no, Joe, they like that structure. They look, I mean, it's not like they look forward. They show up because they know that if they show up, their work will get done. Go look at the testimonials and you'll see that. That is the kind of structure and discipline that I provide. Right. And it's in a group. Everybody else is doing it. So there's competition, there's collaboration, and my students help out each other. And that is the secret sauce, is showing up and putting the work. It doesn't matter how much research you do. You may have the best internship, you may have the best thing, but if you don't know how to tell a compelling story, there's no point in I mean, you may land somewhere. It's not going to be the best place you land. And I get hired mostly after students get into colleges, or they didn't get into colleges. That's when they come to me. I mean, I keep yelling on top of my lungs. Before that, they don't enroll. Then they come and they say, oh, my child didn't get into this college, that college. And then I look at their profile. I'm like, darn it, we should have told our story a different way. I mean, we should have written things differently. Our voice didn't come out. Their personal brand didn't come out. What is your brand, right? Your personal story. It's got to come. It's like so energizing to figure it out. Got it? So that's it. Then there'll be summer activities planning. Like I mentioned, I have bunch of resources. I paid tons of thousands of dollars to stay in my counselor network, and I get that. Okay, like whatever is your interest, astronomy, astrology, whatever it is, you will find summer activities in my list. Okay, then I said anatomy of the college application. I'm going to give them sample application. They're going to be admission officers, fictitious colleges, and they're going to pick students. You know what? By picking the student, they are going to be, as admission officers, to understand what they're looking for. They'll be given a rubric, and guess what? They're going to learn what it takes to get into college, and they're going to start building it for themselves. This is the lesson your child's going to learn. Got it? So that's what I do. I transform students. I transform them. Got it? Even a 1 mm shift, in my opinion, is progress. And that is what you're going to get in my programs. Got it? So all the details are here. And the pricing, everything is here. You can add research as well. Everything is on my website. Just gifted Gapper. That is the college counseling. And hold on a minute, I'm sorry. Any questions about the program so far or my methodology? You will not find a person like me. You other counselors may just throw things at your child and not care whether they did it or not. Whereas me, I'm gonna, my coordinator is gonna call the child. Oh, you didn't attend for 2 days. Why? Because you know what happened? Last time in my fall research, a child or a student slipped through the cracks, like didn't attend, and I sort of didn't pay attention, and I found out that that student was undergoing through trauma and had difficulty and couldn't make it to the classes. My heart broke. I'm like, shit, I didn't reach out to that child and help. So that's not going to happen. I was in the Delhi airport and I had to like give the parent resources, right? So that is the kind of thing that you're going to get. Is it's not just throwing a program and having your child like swim through it. I'm not going to throw your child into the pool without knowing swimming. I'm going to guide them with structure. They're going to have homeworks, and every week is an interesting plan that they work with, and it's going to be so energizing. Okay, my last program is the college counseling, comprehensive counseling. I have not started the program, and I'll tell you why. It's because the acceptances are still rolling in from colleges, and I want to see what the general trend is, right? If like, what is it that based on their acceptances and scholarships, I want to see what it is that worked and did not work. Right. And I'm constantly like changing things based on the results. Right. And without knowing the general trend, there's no point having a comprehensive counseling program. Right. So that's the reason I'm not started. My research is going to take a little bit more time as the acceptances come back. So just a few more minutes and I'll give you your freebie. And how do you register? You register on my website, which is giftedgabber.com. Everything is available on the website. You can register there. It will take you to the checkout page and everything. And oh, where is my next page? Okay, and then I have a special coupon. You can put spring 50, you will get $50 off. That is only, it's expiring soon. It's all written there, spring 50. That is what I have. Okay, and bonus offer. I'm going to show my bonus offer. So I'm going to stop share recording so that I'm sorry, where is it?